Hi, my name is Timothy Spiers, or Rundle-Spiers. I keep forgetting. I got married last year and changed my surname. So no brownie points for me for that. So I'm from Slipstream Creative Agency. We help businesses plan, produce and promote content and to drive traffic to their website. So this week I'm joined by Oliver Lane. Let's bring you in, Ollie. How are you doing today?
Hey Tim, very well, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Good. Pleased to have you on, Ollie. Now, guys, just so that you know, Ollie's got a bit of a cough, so if you have to put him on silent for a second while he has some water and a cough, just excuse us for that. But this is live, that's how it goes. So today we're looking at how you drive traffic to your website. And as a lot of you know, the core of my business is content creation, which leads into content marketing, but also one has to look at how we're going to drive that traffic and optimize websites to really connect with our audiences. So that's why we're talking today with my dear colleague and Oliver, and he works on many projects for our clients, and he specializes in the digital marketing aspect of that. So Ollie, please tell us just a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I work in digital marketing. I specialize in SEO and PPC, in particular Google advertising campaigns. I've got over 6 years experience in doing so. And from the SEO perspective, it's all about driving organic traffic. From the paid side, PPC, pay per click, it's all about driving paid traffic through to the website. So we can look at different aspects of that and looking at how they kind of work together and combine.
Yeah. So interesting. I mean, it's such a huge subject, really, and I think it's quite overwhelming for a lot of people. So I think today it's quite good if we can start to sort of demystify it and break that down. So, let's start off in small chunks. What is digital marketing? What is SEO? Just what's the high, on a high level? Tell us a bit more about that, Ollie.
Well, SEO is a key aspect of digital marketing. If you're looking to implement a digital marketing strategy, then SEO is going to be on the list of something you want to look at. It stands for search engine optimization. As I said, it's all about driving organic traffic. So if someone's searching for a particular service or a particular product, your page, your website then ranks organically on the search results, and then people can find you via that search.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, obviously, you could be working with all kinds of businesses. We've talked about this a lot, and we're very similar with this. But what's your ideal customer?
I think it tends to be SME businesses. I work with a range of different businesses in different industries and different sectors. But it's often that company that's looking to take their website to the next level. They may be looking to redesign it. They may have initially just implemented a basic website to put up there so people can find them. But now they want to start actually driving traffic to that website, making more use of it, potentially improving the design, the layout, the content, and all those features come into SEO. So when you're looking at implementing an SEO strategy, it's good to get in and start thinking about it early on in the process.
Yeah.
Because you need to think about the layout of the page and the content, and that obviously impacts the design.
Yeah, I mean that makes total sense to me, and now with like large corporations, for example, we do work for them, create some animations for these businesses, etc. A lot of them have in-house content creators, they have in-house marketing teams and SEO teams, but that doesn't mean to say that you won't get involved with them either, does it, Ollie?
No, I mean, I also provide training and go in and do some training programs.
Yeah.
And depending on the business and what they're looking to achieve, you can implement. It could be a global SEO strategy, or you could be just looking for a local SEO strategy. So you could be targeting a certain service just within the local area that you're within, and you can do that when you're implementing an SEO or PPC strategy.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit more about or tell the audience a little bit more about, the aspects of SEO and digital marketing, and different things they need to consider.
I mean, like I said, I think it's good to start thinking about SEO if you're redesigning a site and thinking about it early on. Obviously, from the content perspective, from the structure of the website, the different headers that you're going to have on that page. But then obviously, what would you like to target? What keywords would you like to come up for? What kind of search terms do you think are going to add value to your business, are going to drive the right type of traffic to your website? It's all well and good driving traffic, but you want it to be the right type of traffic, the quality traffic of someone that's interested in your product or your service.
Yeah. So, when should people be considering it then? Very early on in the journey? Is there a time when it's like too early to be considering it? And
I think if you're just looking to get a website up that people can see and say, okay, this business, this is what they offer, you're not looking to drive traffic or really put together a digital marketing strategy, then that might be a little bit too early to consider. If you've got a budget in mind, you want to start growing your business, your online presence, building that brand awareness, you want to increase lead generation, then that's when I think the best time to come in and kind of implement a type of strategy like this.
Yeah. Tell me a bit about sort of goals, and the purpose that people need to consider as well.
I mean, guess what are you looking to achieve? And you need to be realistic. SEO is a longer term strategy. It's not something that you're going to implement and then within a week you're going to be ranking up on the top of the search results. It doesn't quite happen like that. There's normally an implementation stage where you'll put the foundations in place, and then it's about building upon that month by month. So uploading new content, so blog posts, targeting new kind of keywords, new search terms, maybe some longer tail keywords, and constantly keeping on top of that, keeping the website live and up to date, new pages, new blogs, and that kind of goes in line with the content marketing that you do as well yourself. So, where does one start? Because it's so broad, and I think that's very much, it's quite overwhelming, I think, for people as well. So, what's a good starting point? I mean, it's not a strategy for everyone. There are certain industries that are very, very competitive, or some companies may not have the budget to target they're the kind of keywords that they would like to within their sector. One of the first things if you've got an existing website, I like to carry out some research within that, maybe carry out a site audit, have a look at maybe some of the potential issues that are there or what can be improved, and then building a strategy around that. SEO comes from, if you're looking at a website, you can look at the pages that are there. What are those different services that business is offering, and then building pages targeting keywords for those services.
And I think a thing we've found sometimes is people don't know what they don't know, kind of thing. So I think they don't always know what the actual full goal and purpose is. They can often see, I haven't got enough customers, or I'm not being found on Google, and don't really know how to go about it either. And there could be a lot of reasons for that, couldn't there? The amount of content on each page, how many pages they've got, are the pages the right pages for the services and things they offer. I mean, wouldn't you think as well?
And you need to think about things like metadata. So when you Google a certain service, you see the displays that come up on the search results. You can tailor those to the service that you're offering, to align kind of the SEO. So whatever service it may be, you need to set that metadata up accordingly.
Exactly. So I think really, partly what I'm alluding to is for people that are wanting to explore, how to grow their business, how to take it to the next level. They've started off getting the business going, getting it off the ground. they've started some, income coming in, it's looking healthier, but they want to start to really optimize all of that and build and grow their business, then it's probably the advice they need as much as anything else, isn't it? And a little bit of nurturing, really.
Yeah, and what would they like to focus on? Digital marketing's a big umbrella term. SEO
Exactly, yeah.
and PPC obviously comes under that umbrella.
Yeah.
For their business, potentially it could be social media that they want to focus on.
Yeah.
That could be right for their industry, or it could be an SEO strategy that maybe they're in a slight niche, or they would like to target just a local area. And so when someone's searching for their particular service or product within that area, it could be the county. Then they can come up and rank on the search results, and then it will ultimately drive traffic to the website. And then the end goal is to drive new sales and improve lead generation.
Yeah. And as you know, sometimes people come to us and they go like, right, I want to do pay-per-click. I want to get loads of people to my site, make loads of money. Let's do that. And actually, that's not necessarily the right thing for them right now at this moment, is it?
Yeah, not always. You want to make sure that you've set the website up properly. I would suggest kind of implementing an SEO strategy before going with a paid strategy. You want to make sure that the page is set up there. It has a good user journey. It's going to have good conversion rates. It's going to engage the user. Maybe you've got FAQs there, or the benefits of the service, or some information on the product. All of that's great content. And that's important to consider before you start paying and driving lots of traffic through to the page. Is that page set up to convert?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like really doing the groundwork, getting the foundations right.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, like we said, the structure of the page, and it all interlinks. SEO with the content marketing and the social media. You're putting blogs up every month. Targeting maybe a new product that you've got releasing, or a new service. That's keeping the website live and up to date, but then you also want to be sharing that across social media as well. So it all interlinks together.
And I think I love that word you used there, because that's quite key, isn't it? You said interlinked. And I think that is the real key, is developing a strategy, which is what we're all about. Developing a strategy where you're linking together all the elements so they're working together in unison to get the effective results. So you're not just doing one thing. And, when we're trying to do these things ourselves, that's often what we do. We sort of, we work on our content, or we work on our web pages, or we haven't got the right keywords in there, we haven't got the right metadata, or all these different elements. Or actually what we need is some forms in the right place, and we also need some blogs and everything. So I think a lot of it isn't it, about having the right strategy so that you can interlink all the things together, which is, I think, yes, there's a lot one can do oneself, but that's where you start to need some advice and the professionals. Bring on the professionals. Oh, no, that way. Hang on. That way. I used to know the theme tune to that, the professionals. You'll be too young, Oliver. I'm not going to sing the theme tune, though. So, okay, the next thing I just really wanted to talk about as well is sort of budgets and things, because I think that's another thing, customers always say, when we're talking to them about all of this, they're like, crikey, how much that all going to cost us? And, it seems like it's an endless pool of money that needs to, be spent and everything. From your perspective, what would you say around the financial side, basically?
There's normally a setup and implementation fee. Like we've alluded to, it's about getting the structure and the foundations there. And then I like to work on a monthly basis, uploading new web pages, new blogs, new content, or managing a campaign or a paid paid campaign. To put a specific figure on it is difficult, because you could be building a website with 300 products on there, or it could be a 5-page service website. And I work with both, a range of different types of businesses, with different sized websites. So the budget can depend upon what kind of stage you're at. If you've got a big Magento coded website, we work with them, or just a basic WordPress site.
Yeah, I think the key though is have an idea of your goals, the purpose of what you're doing, and what's your budget. And then we can work within that, because then we can plan out a strategy around that, and advise you on doing it in phases, and how to roll out. I'll say limited budget, because we've always got a limited budget, because there's never enough money to do anything, and to get the most impact out of what you're doing. Don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And with a lot of my customers, I start off with a smaller retainer if their budget is tight, and then I look to grow that. If they're investing X amount a month, and they're starting to get the return, they're seeing the value, then that increases, and then we can start doing more work. Maybe we go deeper into the analytics of the website and start producing more reports, or we double the amount of content that's going up on the site, or we increase the ad spend. It's about growing that. We can start at stage one, and then growing with the strategy.
And of course, as we've been doing, Ollie, is working with some customers where we're actually giving them training on their SEO, their small businesses. They've needed to do something with us up front, just to, back to the foundations, get things in place, clean up their websites. And then we do some very cost-effective little sessions each week, so they build up their knowledge base, so they can start to get involved in their websites themselves. Not for everyone. Some people, they just want to hand it over, or they've got a team that's doing that. They just need us to sort things out. But for smaller businesses, or people that just like to get involved and work on their content, their websites themselves, and that is really cost effective, and they're getting training out of it.
Yeah, we could really tailor the service depending on the business's needs. Whether it's training and maybe giving some tips on how to write content, what to think about, how to upload web pages, the web development side, and to tailor the service towards what the business would like to achieve.
So I think what people also always interested in is what's the value in doing this stuff. They can go, well, I've got a website up there, I've got that's happening, and my phone goes occasionally, but if I do all that, so what's the value in it? What's your thoughts on that?
I would say the two keys is brand awareness and lead generation. Right. To put an exact figure on a return, you need to really give it 2 or 3 months from an SEO perspective. If you're driving traffic through a paid campaign, then you want to make sure you're getting that return on investment. So you might pay £2 per click, but the sale is at £30. And so it's all about just working out almost from like a profit and loss perspective. When it's organic traffic, you're not paying for that traffic. So the SEO work that we're putting in, if you're ranking on a certain product that you're selling, so when someone types that product in, your website's coming up, they're then clicking through, you're not paying for that traffic. It's free traffic. It's just the work that's involved to earn that position on Google.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's interesting as well that you say, because often there are ongoing costs, because that's partly because you're always perfecting it and growing it, but also they are, from whatever you do, the long-term effects that are very positive for your business. And the earlier and the more you do, longer further down the line, the more reward you get from all that, whether it's awareness on Google or whatever your goals have been set to be.
Yeah, I mean, you're adding value to your business.
Yeah.
If someone takes a look at your business and they're googling the service that you're providing or a product that you're offering, and you're up there at the top on the top of Google in the search results, it's adding value. You're seen as
Yeah,
one of the
exactly.
top providers of that service.
Yeah.
And it helps build trust. People they're gonna trust the business if they know that you're putting in the work, and
Yeah.
you're uploading content, you care about the product that you're selling, and you're at the top of the page. It does help build kind of brand trust as well.
That's it. Yeah. So, what would you say are quick wins for people?
Quick wins. I don't
Are
know
there
the term quick
are there
wins
any
so
quick
much.
wins?
I don't think so. I think if you're thinking about SEO, the quick wins isn't a term that I would kind of relate to it. If you're looking to drive immediate traffic, you would look at a paid campaign, a paid Google advertising campaign, to drive traffic straight away. And then you're working out what kind of keywords you like to come up for. When someone searches in this term, you're going to come up for your product. How much is it going to cost to get that click? And then what's the conversion going to be and the return on investment? So the quick win side isn't a term that I particularly like, but it would be more towards the PPC campaign, if that's what you're looking to get.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. To get your quick wins, but even doing things like adding subscribe functions to a website where it didn't have it and things like that. Can start to really make a little difference anyway, can't they?
Yeah, and if you tie it all together with the SEO, if you've got an SEO strategy and you're putting new content up on the website, you can then share that across social media platforms, and it's immediately gaining brand awareness and driving traffic through to the site via that.
Yeah, exactly. And so obviously it depends what's happening with social as well, and those social media marketing is very relevant. And again, that's all part of a strategy to tie it all together, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, which is often like the next stage as well. So that's good, because I want to just touch on quick wins, long-term wins. So I think we sort of alluded to that quite nicely. And I think, as we were saying earlier as well, with strategies, and you don't know what you don't know because you're running a business, you're not an SEO digital expert. That's where we come in, really, I think, and that's where our value is being able to give our best recommendations, how to work with a budget effectively, and how to get the most out of that, and to have short-term and long-term benefit to your business. So kind of on that note, Ollie and I are going to get together next week, and we're going to talk about the sort of recommendations, give you some actual kind of examples of, how it would work with businesses, and to really start to grow and change the traffic that's going to their businesses. So thank you very much, Ollie, for joining us this week. It's been really interesting. I hope the audience there listening in, I hope you've had value out of this conversation. And of course, please reach out to us if you've got any questions and there's anything else you'd like to know. So, Ollie, any last words?
Thanks so much for having me on. Happy to answer any questions that people may have, or just reach out. Thanks so much, Tim.
Great. Okay, thanks very much, and look forward to seeing you all next week. Cheers. Have a good day.